Welcome to the Nerd Lag Game Club podcast. We play the wonderful game The Gardens Between. But before we start the episode, I must mention that this episode is spoiler heavy. So play this game before you listen. I played this game without understanding one major part, and my mind gets blown when I find out about it.
And I was like, okay, so I need to have another block at the tire for them to be friends.
Oh, so that explains the seesaw.
Correct.
Yeah,
because there's no one on the other side to bring it back down.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even acknowledge that. That's like, that was like, boo, my brain just exploded there.
Yeah.
It told a story within a story. Nerd Lag Game Club. Welcome to the Nerd Lag Game Club podcast, the podcast that gives us a chance to step back and play a game with our friends. I'm Cory, and I'm joined with two party members today, Lauren and Tonsa.
What's up?
Yo. Other two were too lame to finish in
A 2-hour game, yep.
I mean, I get it, though.
This is a surprise episode of the Game Club, and we're going to relive our best memories and talk about The Gardens Between. This game was published and developed by the Voxel Agents, a company based out of Australia. And I wanted to give one interesting fact about this game, like I do with every game on the podcast. The ending credit song of this game is called Places Only We Know. It's written by Ben Abraham, and it has issues with licensing. They never came to an agreement. And as of right now, the ending credits of this game is the only place you can legally listen to that song.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
think
so
that.
if you see it on YouTube, it's someone ripped it from the game, and technically it's, they shouldn't be using it. And it's not on anything like Apple or Spotify or any of that stuff.
That's interesting.
Yeah, thought that was pretty interesting fact.
I feel like it was a good song. I just can't remember it right now.
I like it. It's pretty soft and folky.
That's how the whole game.
So we're going to get into our treehouse boat and talk about this game. So who wants to talk about The Gardens Between first?
What the hell? I didn't think you were gonna say that, but sure, I'll go. I just basically I took very vague notes just because it was super short, and two, a lot of it just can be recalled. But I was just like, story's wholesome, a trip down memory lane. Like that's the whole game.
That's a simplistic version of the story. What's your take on the story, Lauren? Because I have a whole paragraph for this.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, right from the get-go, I kind of understood what was going on. I do play a lot of puzzle games, though, that are right down this alley. It's literally, hey, you have to interpret it as, what it is. They're sitting in the treehouse. Obviously, they know that he's going to be moving away. And so they go through and, hey, this is all the stuff that we did together. We're besties, They go through. It feels like they go through it one last time together. Is kind of the way I took it. Was it is their memories of all the fun times they had and all the things they did together, but it felt like it gave them a chance to do them one last time before they left. And the ending, when he finally leaves, and I knew it was coming. I knew he was moving away. They were getting split up, and it still made me sad. That was like those poor besties.
Yeah, I kind of knew what was going on throughout the story, but at the end when it's revealed to you and he gets in the car, I questioned how old they were because I didn't realize that he got in the passenger seat, the back seat.
Yeah.
I was like, how old are they? But I did write a paragraph for this, and I just want to read it because it's kind of funny. So the story follows two friends, and I'm going to butcher the names because it's Arena, I think, or Arena.
Something like that. Something like that.
And Fred, Frent? Is the D silent in his name?
I don't know.
But it follows those two. They're best friends, and you solve puzzles in a mysterious world. Each world is made up of 2 to 3 levels. All have a theme that creates a memory between the two friends once the world is completed. And the story is told without dialogue, and it just gives little scenes of what the friendship was like between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah,
that hits all the points, right?
That's the
definitely.
yeah. There's not like a. It's not super deep.
I
But
really enjoyed that it didn't tell the story with dialogue. I think it would have messed it up.
I think
Yeah.
if there was like a narrator or something.
Yeah, I don't
I
think I
like
would
that
have
it
liked
just
it.
drops you in and you go.
Yeah, you just don't know what's going on. You just kind of go with the flow of
And
things.
then you will come to like mechanics. You just switch between them to solve puzzles. And with light. That was the coolest part.
I don't even really think you necessarily switch. You just have to get one character by an object, and then you can hit it.
Oh yeah, I guess you don't. Yeah, you don't.
Because the gameplay is super simplistic. So you use the control sticks to move time forward and backwards.
I use
That's
the
it.
keyboard.
Or okay, so you were on the PC, so you use the keyboard.
So I use the left arrow and right arrow for front and back for time, and spacebar to use the objects.
And that's all the buttons you need.
Yeah,
That's
that was
it.
it. Oh, I use an Xbox One controller on the PC, and I use the control sticks, and then A is the button that interacts with stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
same.
That's it. That's things will highlight, and you kind of just solve puzzles by moving time forward and back. And there's
Yeah, I guess it just feels like you switch because you can kind of change the paths,
Yeah.
like
Right.
and separate them too, still, or like send her away. But I mean, the coolest part's like the dealing with the little lights, like or what would that be?
Are you
Is it
talking
a
about
light,
the lights
the sphere thing?
the lights that she gets in their little lantern?
Yeah,
Yeah, I would assume it's some kind of like light orb or something.
and then you have to like interact with the environment. That was really cool too. There were so many like little puzzles.
Mhm.
Like within like extra things. Like I 100% of this game.
I did not get all the achievements, but after I looked up what they were, I kind of wanted to go back and see them.
You could do it. You could. I did. I went back and finished. Like it would honestly take you an extra like half hour.
But before we really get into like the different worlds, because I think it'd be cool to go over each one, kind of just talk about everything. The characters themselves, you start at the bottom of an island, and you have to work your way to the top to like a shrine, and you have to put a lantern in there with that light orb that Tons was talking about, and that's how you get to the next puzzle.
There's 3 per world.
2 to 3, because some of them only have 2. Am I missing anything there, Lauren?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so I
Oh,
didn't really take notes for World 1 and 2, so I'll kind of give you guys the lead to that, because I didn't find those 2 worlds as interesting.
I didn't take notes for them.
So, do you know what World 1 was? If not, we'll just skip on by it.
That's the. Is that them building the treehouse? Or no? I wish my computer wasn't being a little weird.
No, the treehouse is later.
I don't remember 1.
It is World 4 is the treehouse. World 3 is the like video game, board game stuff.
Oh, World 1's all the stuff they're unpacking, right? Or packing, unpacking.
Is that what it is? They're unpacking?
I believe so. And then World 2's the backyard, right? Or no?
Like I said, the first 2 worlds, I didn't feel like they were all that interesting, so I didn't really notate anything.
Well, first world is like, even if it guides your hands so much that you're done with it in like 5 minutes, 5-6 minutes.
It's very tutorial, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're just going up to the first shrine and you're just like going over obstacles. That's about yeah. So I guess 1 and 2 very bland. I don't.
Yeah, I don't really remember them, but so I guess if you play it yourself, you'll be able to see World 1 and 2. Maybe they stand out a little more to
The
you.
the world looks great. Everything in it's cool.
It was
Like,
made
the
in
idea.
Unity.
I can see it. It looks good.
Yeah.
But World 3, I liked a lot personally.
Mhm.
So this is split up into 3 levels. One is like a board game level that has like Jenga and dominoes that you like manipulate time, and you can make the Jenga tower fall, the dominoes
Mhm.
fall. Um, and then the next one is like a big old like 80s TV where you play video games on it. You
Oh
you
yeah, I
play
remember
like
this.
the Crow game for the first time.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the last level is the snacks.
The
So like
popcorn.
popcorn and the movies. Um, which I really liked, like this whole world. I thought this was like the one that really like got me into the game, where I was like,
Yeah.
okay, now I want to play this. Like this is really cool.
I also think that's the first time it steps the puzzles up. Like, just having to like use your brain, not just walk through everything.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I never
Like,
really found anything super challenging throughout the whole game, but you do have to pause and think like, what am I missing when you're like stumbling on something?
yeah.
Mhm.
Look, it's just like it's I think it's the first time you have to actually pause the little thing in that, like, it doesn't tell you you can just like completely stop everything you can move.
Yeah,
Like, so like at that point, like with the popcorn one, you have to stop like the little brick dude up to the top so he can grab the light, then rewind time again. Like, you have to play it forward and rewind, but keeping the object just like stasis in the air.
right. And then I think this is when it starts adding more of those like black hole flowers that
Yeah,
steal
I
the
feel like
little
it's the
light.
first one that did like a little bit of a challenge.
Lauren, did you like this world?
Yeah, I really like the dominoes and stuff. I thought they were pretty cool. That was the first time I was like, "Oh my god, this is actually like interacting with the world." I guess is the best way to put it. Everything else just felt like it was pretty basic, like, oh, forward, backwards, but this was the first, like, oh, we're actually doing a puzzle with, like, the environment.
Okay, I guess that's more or less instead the word challenge, I meant like interact. Because like you
Yeah.
go through the game, you bust it out. Like, you actually can go through it like twice and get achievements and stuff.
Right, right.
Right.
And like
Yeah.
it started paying off to just start exploring, like not
Mhm.
even taking the right path, just to see how you can interact with the world.
Right,
For
because
sure.
there's sections where they have stuff that has no relevance to getting to the top.
Hmm.
I don't know if that starts in this world, but I noticed it a little later where they have like I think this one introduces that weird like dark fog, like that purple fog, which was pretty cool because you can like either walk on it or get rid of it.
Mhm.
Yeah, the light makes it disappear.
Right, or if you don't have the light, you can walk on it
Yeah.
and to use it kind of as like a bridge. But there's areas where that fog exists, and you don't need to go over there, but it unlocks maybe an achievement or just something like different insight on it. Um, but as for World 3, I really liked it, and like I said, it's what got me into it. I'm a sucker for board games. If you're here, you know that we all love video games. So I thought that was really neat. But moving into World 4, this is the world where they build a treehouse.
Okay, I like this one.
This is where I found out my first thing that you don't have to do, I don't think, where you cut the piece of wood in half with the saw.
Oh yeah, yeah, where you just keep bouncing it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wait, you
Um,
don't have to do
I
that?
don't.
What do you mean?
I don't think
Maybe you do. I don't know.
well,
I couldn't go any further without doing it.
I would say also like there's the one of like I think it's the World 3 where you can like send her all the way down again or whatever, and you get like an achievement like fish on the hook or whatever. It's something weird. So I don't know if you necessarily had to like send her all the way down on like the cart. to the very bottom.
Oh, that's this world, huh?
It's the third one.
Yeah, it's the final level where you have that pulley system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have 3. Well, I guess it would be 4 levels of
This
like ground floor, mid, like an upstairs, and then finally treehouse.
Yeah, this was
I
one
like
of,
that one.
yeah, this is one of the that's one of the puzzles where I tried it a couple times and I'm like, what am I doing incorrectly? So I had to like sit back and look at everything, kind of examine the world. And then I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, like like you said, it never felt like hard, but you actually had to pause and like look at things and see how. Because sometimes when you just walk through, or they show like, well, go ahead and go on to the next word. I'll explain what I'm going
Well,
to say later.
before we do that, I really
Sure.
like the paint bucket thing where the like lantern holders jump into the paint buckets, and so they have half of their body as painted,
Yeah,
and
that
you
was
have to
such
like
a good
watch
part.
them.
That was cool cuz like you said it jumps around and you have to watch the one to see where it ends up
Mm-hmm.
to solve the puzzle, which is kind of cool. And then you reverse time and you're like, "Okay, now I need to put my lantern on this
On
one."
this one, and
Mm-hmm.
then or like grab it from this one and put it onto the one next to it.
Yeah, after it got the light, you'd have to pick it up from one, figure out which one you needed on after that, and move it to that one to get it to go where it needs to be. I thought that was pretty neat.
I guess I could say what I was gonna say. It's just this is when you started getting into the game, and you would when you would walk through things, you'd fast forward, and then you would have to rewind, fast forward, but then you had to start stopping things like midway through and then actually watching. Like
Yeah,
you had to experience what the world was gonna do when everything fell, or like you had the. It was just cool. I liked it.
me too.
So going into World 5, this is hands down my favorite world.
Which one's
Okay.
this one?
So this is the dinosaur bone
Museum.
one,
The
the
museum.
museum. Yeah, so there's a I don't remember what I think it's the final level has the dinosaur bones.
Yeah, that was the reference I was
Yeah,
gonna make. Is you had to stop it like so many times and like watch how things hit, so you
'cause
could be like,
there's
oh, I could stop it here and go under, or stop it there and go up.
yeah, the first puzzle was the computer stuff, so it was like, oh, you have to put in like the passcode, and then
That part
the
was
next
so
point
cool.
was like the typewriter or whatever, and then there's the numbers that give you the passcode, and
Right, and then you have to rewind time to put in the right combination to get into the computer.
Yeah, you had to keep jumping over like the right button. Like you'd like fast forward, like and then rewind, fast forward to hit like 7, or I can't remember. It's like 2, 6,
What was it
7.
like 644
Oh, yeah.
676?
I think so, because there was a lot of sixes in it, and it's just the way like they stepped on it.
Yeah, and then when you get into the actual computer, you have four options to pick from, and
mhm,
each option dictates what the printer next to it prints out,
yeah,
which I found this so cool.
Yeah, that was really
You
cool.
print the paper out, and when it gets into when it falls into the water, whatever option you pick, there's something behind it.
mhm,
So the one gives you like one of those square things that you can put the lantern on. The one gives you like the what are those?
The plants?
No, the things that you like mess with. They're kind of like wind chimes.
Oh, like
yeah,
his thing.
Yeah, and
I get rid
that's
of the smoke stuff typically, or change like some sort of part in the map.
right. And then the one is just a printout of like two friends, like
Yeah,
two like stick figures. It doesn't do anything. It's just cool to see. And then after you do that, you go all the way down and you got to mess with that frequency
mhm,
to break the glass orb over the flower that gives you the light, like the
yeah,
glass dome, kind of like a light
mhm,
thing. That when I was doing that, I was like, "This is so good."
yeah. The game just made it so relaxing. It didn't like shove these hard puzzles in front of you. where like you're scratching your brain. You're just kind of like along for the ride, and it rewarded you for just like doing whatever.
And
It was nice.
then
It's a good feeling.
the next level, I don't think I think this is only 2, right?
Yeah,
Which
there's
one is
only
it?
2. It's computers and then fossils
Yeah, and
for
the
this.
dinosaur one's a lot of fun. Like as Tonsa mentioned, you have to manipulate the fossil falling apart to use them as like bridges.
Yeah, so like you're stopping, like you're watching it and be like, all right, this one, like, because you have to. So that part has like a bunch of those like black holes, and like they'll suck the light out. So you have to like go through and it's like put it on the little dude. He jumps over here. Then you got to figure out how to get over there by like stopping the dinosaur at a certain point, and like it's in its motion.
How long
It's
did
cool.
it take you to realize that the bones would hit the wind chime things?
Not too long. Uh, I think the hardest part on that map was I getting the last like orb, like the one from the star.
From the
You know,
star?
like the moon thing in the background. You like rewind it and go. You had to walk back and get it.
Oh, was that this one? Oh, because of the telescope.
Yeah, yeah. It's the top. It's the very top.
I like that part too. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, it's like if you hold it in place long enough, it will fill your lantern.
Yeah, and I sat there and I just didn't hold it long enough. I was, what's going on?
What is this?
Yeah, but that part was really cool. That's that one, right? Or no?
Yeah, I think
Or is
that's
it the
that
one
one.
before it?
I don't think it's that one. This
I think
is
it might be the
saying
one
it's
before it.
literally World 7
Oh,
has
what?
stargazing.
Whoops.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. This is because that's the picnic day,
Oh, yeah.
which that's pretty cool too. But I know World 6 is one that Lauren really liked, and I'll give her the lead on
Yeah.
this because I did not really care for this world.
I really liked it. It's the one with the pipes.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
In that first puzzle, you have the lights hanging, and you go through and you have the different purple clouds that you have to get through with different ways. But I really liked in the pipes where the water would come down and you'd have to stop it at the exact point to where it would conduct electricity to turn on all the lights.
Yeah,
And
I
then
thought
it
those
would,
were cool.
yeah, and then it was like timed, so after so long you would get so far and then it would turn back off and the purple cloud would come back up and that's how you'd advance. I really liked it. I thought it was unique because it was using, like you said, where you have to like stop time at a certain point instead of just all the way forward or all the way back.
I will say this is probably the hardest world.
I would agree. I thought it
Because
was the
that
hardest.
last part, like just the timing of things
This
was weird.
I at the time of playing it, I didn't realize it, but this level very much gives you familiar with the idea for the final world.
Yes, very like very much like with the lightning and stuff.
Right, yeah.
But the
Yeah.
timing of like the 2 pop cans, like
Oh, that wrecked my life at first.
yeah, it was
Oh my god.
it's pretty annoying. So I had to do this world twice because I went back through and got the achievement
Mhm.
for but like the first time I did it, no joke, easy as shit. And I it wasn't too bad. This next time I was like, what did I do different? What I'm struggling so bad. My timing is all off. What did I do? It just took
Yeah.
me forever to line up the pop cans. The other one, once you did the other one once, it was easy.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. That pop can thing too. Oh my god. I don't know how many times I'm like, I can't get both of them across. What am I doing wrong?
And then you're like, oh,
Yeah,
you gotta miss time them. You gotta miss. Like,
Well,
yeah, and by the end I was like, oh my god, I'm an idiot.
and
yeah,
it's funny because then you like get through the pop cans, and then it's like the garbage, like those like
Mhm.
box that I don't know what those are. They're like boxes, and there's like a piece of rock.
Yep.
like a tree with a door. I don't
Yeah,
know what that was.
and you're like, and then you have to time that one.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to do that one twice. You have to go back through it.
Yeah,
Right.
which that got me there because I was like, what did I use? And I'm like, no, I got it. I was like, I'm back. No. Yeah, no. And I keep moving it forward. And I'm
And then you
like,
get to run back.
yeah, and I'm like, did I do what I needed to do? And then eventually she joins you because at that point she's looking at her jacket.
Mhm.
Well, yeah,
That's-
she's like showing up, like at whatever the top.
yeah, there's like that little piece of land that like sits off, and then she's looking at her jacket, which is like hanging over the pipes of like a big old drain.
Mhm.
Is that the final level of this world?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, her jacket is. Yep.
But I know Lauren
I
really liked this one, and I was actually kind of shocked when she said that.
I
But-
liked it.
did
I think it was
really
good.
like
It was
it.
the only one that really like challenged me. And like I said, I
Same.
did it twice. That first time took me a little bit, and then I was like, "Oh, I should be fine going through." And I don't know what I did. I missed time. I just forgot. I was like, "What the hell? It's been like 30 minutes, and I'm back to this, and I'm like already screwed up."
Yeah.
So after World 6 with the water, you get into World 7, which I found this world was really cool.
Mhm.
It's they spend a day together at like the park, basically, is the memory.
Mhm.
And so you start off, if correct me if I'm wrong, but you start off with the one that has all the different like toys at the park. Like you have a seesaw, you have
Oh yeah,
a
yeah.
slide, there's like a tire swing,
Someone's got the graffiti on the wall.
right, which kind of gives you hints of what you need to do.
Yeah.
But this one was really cool because like you mess with that graffiti, and as you do it, that square interacts with the objects that are real in the on the island.
Yeah, you like watch it go down the slide. It does the whole picture, like the whole motion of the picture.
Yeah, and you have at one point you sit it on the little whale, like that little like whale that's on the springs. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that you like bend it down so you can use it as like a bridge, like the tail of it to get across.
Mhm.
So that part was really cool. And then the next level is the radio station level.
With
Yeah.
the 3 bouncing blocks.
Yeah, so it's you have three
That part's good.
blocks that like bounce, but they only move if the like the Walkman is on their corresponding channel,
Like frequency. Yeah, that part was cool. I liked it.
and it plays different music per like square. So I thought it was kind of interesting. And I messed it up a couple times where like I would move it too far, and then one like the yellow one would move when I needed the blue one to move, and I'm like, come on, I just need the blue one to move. And then the one time the blue one had the light, and I think I moved the purple one or the pink one, and it took the light away from it. And then I had to rewind and do it all over again. And I was like,
This game really didn't punish you when you messed up because you didn't like start from square one.
they
One was
kind
a little bit. You had to walk back, but it takes you a minute.
well, they kind of had those like checkpoint bridges
Mm-hmm.
where you would get a light, you'd put it in there, then that like light bridge that you'd walk across would go. That was
Yeah,
like
there's no
their
way.
way of putting checkpoints in.
True.
Um, did you like this world, Lauren, with the music?
I liked it a lot actually. I really liked the park one, and I don't know if it was just me, but the fact that the block was sad because it didn't have any friends, so it was playing on the park stuff by itself, and the only time he was happy was because he saw the other block as his friend. That was so sad.
To be honest with you, I didn't even interpret that from that.
No? You
No,
didn't notice that?
no, I kind
Okay,
of just looked
no.
at it like at the beginning he's with a bunch of squares,
And he's sad.
and then he just moves on to like different equipment, and I'm just like,
No,
oh, okay.
that's how I interpreted how to get so far, was because the first picture is him with all those people and he's really sad. And then he goes through like the different things, and when he gets to the tire, he's picturing him with another block and he's happy. And I was like, okay, so I need to have another block at the tire for them to be friends.
Oh, so
Damn.
that explains the seesaw.
Correct.
Yeah,
because
Correct.
there's no one on the other side to bring it back down.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even acknowledge that. That's like, that was like, boo, my brain just exploded there.
Yeah.
It told a
So,
story within a story.
yeah, and that's why I was surprised you didn't mention it, because I was like, it literally gave you a story about these blocks, and that's why they were moving where they were.
Yeah, I didn't even acknowledge that. That's crazy. I didn't take that from that at all.
Yeah, I
I was
really
just like,
like.
okay, just got to move the squares to the different things at the park.
Nope, I was going through that story like, oh, he needs a friend. Did you
Um,
see the block on the giant slide then in the
Yeah.
background?
yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure you've seen
I
that
didn't,
part. But
like I said, I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think of the squares as being like personified.
hmm
I was just like, oh, it's just a square. Like you've
Oh,
been using them for the last 6 worlds, and they haven't really been like anything.
right.
And
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's I'll have to definitely go back through and look at that.
You should
yeah,
definitely do the achievements.
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, all right. So before we even get to the last one, so to get all the achievements and stuff, there's a lot of like little things you got to do. But they play these like little memory sequences, and if you do certain things in the memory sequences, the little block shows up every time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the good ones. Like, well, there's a couple in the when you're throwing the popcorn and you hold it and the popcorn hits him in the face. If you hit it like 5 times, like rewind it and keep hitting him, it's like an achievement for like friendly fire. And then
Oh,
like, if you just kept rewinding it and then you stayed in a place where like how everything would shake when you're interacting with it,
yeah.
it would blow up and the crow would fly out or like from the game.
Oh, yeah. I didn't mess with any of that.
Yeah,
I feel like I
I
missed
ended
out on such a huge portion of this game.
so, yeah, and it's weird. Like that's what you were saying that, and I was like, there's a lot of them where the block just shows up in the background of all these things. Like he's having a good time. He's like part of their little crew.
The only one that I found, and I think it might have been the last level of World 7 with the telescope, is where
Mhm.
there's that purple cloud in the back,
Yeah, and he's
and
hiding.
he's hiding behind it, and he jumps out.
Yeah,
And then I'm like, well, what do I need to do with that?
yeah. No, that's just an achievement.
Um, so yeah, I didn't really put two and two together. Do those squares stand for something? Is that why they're like alive and have their own like feelings and emotions?
See, that's what I was trying to figure
I
out
don't
too.
know. I don't think it's that deep. I just think they're like there, like
Also,
to be.
like, not it's definitely still about the playground stuff. Did you notice at the very end of the game, like that playground stuff is right next to
But
their treehouse?
Oh,
yeah, well,
everything is.
yeah, that
Right,
whole
right. I
game.
didn't notice that till then. I was like, "Oh my god, that's the playground."
Yeah, because they have the playground thing, and then if you look to, I think the left of their treehouse is the drain from that
Okay, yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
world. Then the world 5 is them building said treehouse, or 4
Yeah.
is building said treehouse, and then 5 has all the stuff that's inside the treehouse.
Yeah, it's like the field
Mhm.
trip or whatever.
Oh yeah, the field trip, and then 3 with the board games and the video games and stuff.
Mhm.
That's before they build the treehouse.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
like inside, like they're hanging out.
But so the end of World 7 has the telescope, which we talked about kinda.
Yeah, I like that one. I'm
Same.
trying to remember what else is in that one because there's also like where you have to, where you no, I guess it was the bone one. I was just thinking that's the same like layout though. You have to go up like a spiral, like the cut, like a mountain that tips off.
Yeah, I don't really remember the beginning of the telescope one, but when you get to the telescope, it's really cool
Yeah, I
because
think
you
it's
have to like you basically make like a moon slash shooting star, and you have to like line it up with certain things to get it to trigger.
Mhm.
Which
Mhm.
one is the lantern, another one's like to, I don't know, to like open up a flower or something. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
you had to take away the light or something.
Oh right, you had to take it away from the lantern or something.
Yeah,
I
so
can't
you can
really
get the light.
remember, but the telescope's really cool and it kind of shifts with you. And then that is the last world before the final world, which the final one is one giant puzzle that's broken into three sections.
Hmm.
That's what I got from it.
Yeah,
It's just
I
like one
definitely did
giant
too.
climb to the top in like
Yeah, it was just a race to the top. That's why, like during that storm of everything crumbling apart.
yeah, there's like a crazy thunderstorm going on, and I thought that using the lightning in this level was super cool.
Yeah, and there's like
Same.
a lot of extra ones for like achievements. Well, not a lot. Like there's only like there's not too many
Isn't
achievements,
there
but you
only
get
like
them.
15 for the whole game?
I think there's like 20.
Is there that
'Cause
many?
there's like one in each world plus the out thing. So yeah, it's like 20. I if my computer screen would not be a pain in the ass, I would look it up. Actually,
um, but yeah, so you climb to the top. The first one you set off lightning to like conduct lightning from. I don't know what the object is, but you have to get the lightning to go over to the scissors.
Hmm.
But I can't remember what that object is. But you have to kind of just sit in motion until the lightning like moves its way over. And then as you climb up, you have to like plug in the TV and like kind of manipulate the outlet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that one was pretty cool.
I really liked the lightning. I thought that was really neat.
And I like that the little square guy like jumps through the TV in
Hmm.
that one.
yeah.
He like
So
comes out of it.
there's 17 by the way.
17 achievements.
Mhm.
So I think I have like
You have
9.
to have like you have to have most of them just from going through. But like
Yeah.
the other ones are just the end stuff where you like rewind uh or
The
play through like the little memory. Like it just you just be like it had like a little piece that would shake or you had to do something.
yeah, I didn't do any of that. So
Hmm.
um but after you do like the lightning thing and move up to the next one, was there anything?
That's with the ball, right? Is that the one with the ball? Like you had to step on the hose to spray the beach ball.
Oh my
Oh.
god, that took me so long to figure out.
I
I was like,
got
how do
lucky.
I get this stupid ball out of the way?
Yeah,
And then I was like, oh my god, maybe I have to plug the hose, basically. And
yeah.
then I figured it out.
Yeah, and the hose gets like all super fat and then it eventually just shoots out at
Right? Yeah.
the little like it's like a beach
Beach ball
ball.
thing. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then the last level, there's nothing, right? It's just walking around.
Yeah, I think it's just
I
walking
don't really
around.
remember there being a puzzle in the final one.
Mm.
It's kind of like the
You're just doing it.
climax to everything.
Yeah.
And
What's
then
the game one? Is that the final or is that the one before it? Where you have like you need the you have to use the TV. So you plug the TV in and it plays the game.
that's the second one with the hose.
Okay, yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, the last one's just you walking up.
Yeah, it's like the final climax, like the top of all the towers. You get light in your lantern. The two characters place it into the shrine together, and then as soon as they do it, everything crumbles.
Hmm.
The tower you're on, all the islands you were on, it all crumbles. Pans to black. It comes back.
They're like hugging.
Yeah, well, they're hugging as it's crumbling, and then it like,
Yeah,
or they're hugging on the boat,
I think so.
and then it comes like pans black, comes to like the real world, and they're hugging in between the houses. You can't see the houses, you can't see anything else. It's just them two, and then the camera slowly pans away from them. You see the for sale sign on the house to the left, and you're like, "Oh shit!" One of them's moving,
Yeah.
and then you realize that it's Frent. I think is how
Yeah,
you say the
yeah.
boy. And he gets in the car and he drives away, and that's it.
That's it.
That's it. There's nothing more to it. and she's just kind of standing there, and I don't know, like she's sad, but they don't give you any more context, which I don't think was needed.
Right.
No, I felt it, and it makes sense. I mean, they share the garden between their houses, and that's where all the memories happen.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they grew up together in that little section behind the two houses.
Yeah.
I won't lie though. I'm with Lauren here. I'm in Team Sad.
Yeah,
I
no,
knew it was coming.
Yep.
yeah,
Same.
you could tell it's like that thing, but it's like I wasn't like devastated. I was more like it's chill, but it's like because the whole game's like relaxing and like doesn't like pull at your heartstrings. And at the end, it's like, oh, I don't like they're friends. They'll hang out.
Right.
Like,
I get it. It's like I felt sad because, anytime like you can't be in contact with a friend, or your life changes drastically because you won't see that person. Like that's just sad for you as a person. However, it's not like he died.
yeah, I
Right.
mean, as a
Right.
kid, I think it's one of the worst things that happened. Like when you think back to it, it's like how many friends have you probably had, and then just the same thing happened, and now it's like, oh, what's their name?
Yeah.
Like that's what hit
S-
made me feel sad. Not like because like I understand how like things happen, but you can keep in contact. But it made me think like, oh fuck, like I remember this person randomly in my life, and same thing almost happened.
Right, yeah, like you have these neighbors or these kids you grow up with, and then, you guys move, or you just, even times where you just have different interests, so you go different ways. You do
Yeah.
feel a little sad. Like, it's not like the world's over, but it's kind of like, oh, I kind of miss those memories. And I think that's kind of what the game was going for.
No, I felt that, and they did a great job at it.
Um, is there anything you guys want to say about the art or music of the game?
Amazing. Okay, after you beat the game though, you can go into a cheat menu, like on like a new game plus to go through everything. There's a big head mode. Makes no sense. Don't know why it's there. It's really ridiculous. I turned it on, and then you have a speed up mode. So like when you're doing puzzles, I think I hit like Y or something on the Xbox controller, and everything would just move faster.
Well, that's
That's
nice when
nice.
you're just going back through the achievements.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Mm.
Like when you go back through, and you only have to do like, depending on which ones you need, you only have to do like the last level of
Yeah,
like the
that's very
world.
nice.
And I felt like that was great. Art style, I loved it. Like, I don't know, it was so quirky and it's so like lo-fi chill. Like this is something you'd see on like one of those YouTube fucking channels, like that art style.
Oh, I could see
Yep.
that.
Like when they're like in the beginning, sitting in the treehouse, like before the storm or
Yep.
during the storm.
That's exactly what I
I
thought
was
during
picturing
that.
like the lo-fi, like raindrops hitting in the background, and like
Hmm.
that's the aesthetic I got from the whole game. That's probably why I refer to as chill vibe the whole time.
Yeah. I really liked it. I really liked that after like you finish the 2 or 3 levels to complete the memory, they used constellations. They like
Hmm.
made them their own constellations. I really liked that.
Yeah, that was like a cool way to tie everything together.
Yeah, I really liked that. And then the music was just on point. Like
Yeah.
it felt like Tunda said, like it was just like chill like vibes. I never got like a oh my god, I should feel panicked or I should feel like a certain kind of way. I just felt like I was just going through a story.
In that
That's
plays with
it.
the difficulty of that too. It didn't have
Mhm.
any super challenging parts or anything that was like, damn it, like made you want to stop playing. It was just a one stop. Like I felt relaxed after I played it. Like I went to
Same.
bed, like I slept good.
I went to work after I played it.
I
I played it late at night.
I will say, and I maybe I'm the only one that gets this, but the character designs, even though there's no dialogue and nothing to tell you this, you can pick up their personality from the way that they look.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And I think that goes to say like how good the art impacts the game.
Mm-hmm.
because you could tell that she's more courageous and outgoing and like more reckless at times, and just by looking at him you can say he's intelligent, he's more shy and reserved, and that somehow they're just in those circumstances they're best friends because they
Yep.
live next to each other. But if they would have met in school, they're not friends.
No, I'd agree.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
what I got from it, just because it's like,
Well, yeah, the shared garden between.
right. So that was really cool. We mentioned the credit song. It's Ben Abraham. He's just a calm music kind of guy. I really
Yeah, it
liked
was
it.
great.
And I went right after I finished the game. I went on to Spotify and I was like, I'm gonna put this. And then I couldn't find it. And then I found out that licensing
You
and
know what's
stuff.
funny? I probably did the same thing, to be honest. And was like, but like I said, it's a little like I played this game like exactly 2 weeks ago. So it's like, and I have vague notes, but I feel like I did the same thing, especially with music.
Right. And no glitches. No one found anything.
No, I didn't have any.
It was flawless for me. I had no problems with this game at all.
Same.
What time did you guys beat it under? Like, or in?
I think I was right around 2 hours and like 5 minutes, maybe.
I finished mine just under 2 hours.
I beat the game in under 2 hours, and then it's probably like 2 hours and like 15 or 20 to go back through and like play the. I basically replayed the whole game. One, I didn't realize you could just go to the last world, like the last spot in the world
Mhm.
when you're replaying it. So I just started going through it, and like it doesn't take any time because you get the speed up thing, and I already did it. So the only one when I going through it, the only part I struggled on was the games.
The Popkins.
And I don't know if it's because I was using
Same.
the speed thing, so it went like I was doing it faster.
So I have just a fun question, and it's more of a curiosity thing. When does this take place? What time period? Is this the 90s?
Probably based on the games
Early
and stuff they
90s,
play.
probably.
Because if you go based off of like the printer technology, the video games they're playing, the type of
Calculator.
TV they have, the calculator, it screams 90s.
90s, late
Definitely.
80s,
Yeah.
maybe. I would say probably like early 90s.
Because it doesn't say.
No, it doesn't.
No, it's very like ambiguous. Like it just leaves everything. Like it doesn't tell anything. It does not explain anything.
It has the story of memories, but there's no context to before or after, what's happening. It doesn't tell you about the world. That's it. It's open to whatever you think it may be. But before we move on to the end of this episode, I have to ask, Tonsa, do you recommend this game?
Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna read. Well, I put recommend 100%. It's super chill and wholesome. That was my review.
And Lauren, would you recommend this game?
Always. I love games like this. I think it's good for pretty much anybody. I mean, you don't even have to play games. The controls are easy. It's not too long. It, like you said, it was flawless. Like, we didn't have any issues with it. The music's good. I don't have any complaints about the whole game. Like, I thought it was great. And if you have Game Pass, it's free. Like,
Right.
you really you can't beat free, you know what I mean? Like, for a game that's flawless like that, like, definitely recommend.
If you're in that wind down mood before like bed or whatever, like
Mhm.
it is a little bit like sadder, like pull some heartstrings, but like it's 2 hours long and just relaxing. Like
Right.
I think that's
I think I would also recommend this. I think this works perfect for people with limited time to play games.
Hmm.
For me to drop like a bunch of time into a game because I have very limited time, this was that perfect sweet spot because it was one sitting.
Oh yeah. You
Um,
can even if you wanted to, you could have broken it apart.
oh, easily because
You don't
you
need
just
to.
stop at each world if you really
Yep.
wanted to.
If you're an achievement hunter,
Yeah,
it's like 2 hours. You could probably do it in maybe less if you like rush through things. You can get as a gamer score because it's for Xbox through Game Pass. I got 1,000 gamer score. I mean, I'm not like a much of an achievement hunter, but it is nice.
it's an
It's a
easy
full
one.
game. Yeah, very easy.
I do wanna say what I played this before Lauren did, just by a couple days, and I immediately text her and I said, I know 100% you're gonna love this game.
It's good.
You were right. You were right. I love these games. Like, I absolutely love these kind of puzzle games.
I
So
think eventually we do Oxenfree.
yeah, I think we'll dive into different things. Um, but before we go out on this episode, is there anything else you want to say about the game?
Play
Nope.
it.
Yeah,
Play
play it.
it.
There's no reason not to. It's not even like it's an hour and a half. If you have the time to like chill out and hang out with us and listen to this, you have time to try like a one-off studio like their game. Because what their other game you said is like Train Simulator.
It's like
I don't know.
locomotion something, and
Don't
there's
know how
like
you go from that to this.
and then some other
Right.
puzzle game,
Right.
which that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but all right, so I had a lot of fun. Talking about the Gardens Between on the Nerd Lag Game Club. But before we go, we wanted to share where you can find us online, and so we'll leave you with some plugs. You can find us on our YouTube channel at Nerd Lag. You can also find us at our Facebook page at Nerd Lag Game Club. Uh, we do have a Twitter by Nerdlag, and we've been posting a lot over there recently. Gotten some recent activity, so definitely check that out. Not only do we talk about games, we talk about anime and movies and whatever you want to talk about. And we have a Discord, so we have some conversations going on there, some exclusive conversations that you won't see anywhere else. So definitely ask us for an invite because we will gladly send you one to have you join the conversation.
Also, you can find people to play with or talk about your favorite things.
Right, we have a section for everything: books, movies, anime, video games. So there's a little bit for everyone. And the last thing is we ask you, if you're watching this on Spotify, to leave us a 5-star review. It really helps us out. And our next actual episode for the month of August is Bastion, and that will be out on the 1st of September. But until then, thanks for listening, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
See ya.